What's up, guys? So with the cold weather coming upon us, I figured I would do a video on the cold weather gear that I used this year on my hike of the Appalachian Trail, or pretty much any time I go out and it's going to be chilly or a little bit cold. So to start off, the main layer that I wore the entire time from the start of the trail, which I started March 10th, all the way till I got to Damascus, Virginia, was this guy. It is my mid layer. It's a quarter zip, full length sleeve, and it's by a company called Koppen. Now I picked this up a handful of years ago from, I think it was Dick's Sporting Goods. Really inexpensive, nice fleece liner on the inside, keeps me really warm. This is one of my favorite pieces of gear. I've had it for a really long time. I take it pretty much everywhere with me. Now, I wore this pretty much through Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, right before we got into Virginia. I wore this the entire time, and then I sent it home in Damascus. So I would typically wear a tech shirt underneath, and then this on top. My next line of defense on the top layer would be my Marmot down jacket. This is the Marmot Zeus 800 fill down jacket. One thing I really love about this jacket, aside from it being really warm and comfortable, is if you unzip the left pocket here, it will actually roll and tuck into the pocket. So it becomes multifunctional and acts at night whenever you're nice and snug inside of your warm sleeping bag. It acts as a pillow. So I kept this all the way to the end just in case it got a little chilly at night, but also just to keep it as a nice comfortable pillow, nice and squishy. Now, if the elements were really bad, I didn't want my down jacket to get wet, and it was just super chilly and cold, I would put an extra layer on top of this, and that would just be my regular rain jacket. I used the Outdoor Research Helium 2 HD jacket. Great wind barrier, especially on top of this down jacket. So this, and this were my three pieces of cold weather gear for my top. Now getting into the bottoms, as a base layer, I didn't go with the Patagonia Capilines like most people go with. I went with a pair of running tights that I've had for a couple years. I'm a big time runner. I like running in the winter, so I traversed these over to the trail. These are the Nike Pro Combat running tights. Nice, stretchy, good, thick material, but not too heavy. Kept me super warm, especially under the main pants that I wore from the beginning of the trail, and then I sent them home into Virginia and just went to pure shorts. These are my Marmot Convertible pants. So they would zip off into a pair of shorts if I needed them to, but still had a nice long leg and would dry really fast. So even if I was hiking in the rain, I would definitely get wet. Didn't worry about rain pants, didn't worry about a rain kilt like some people did. I would just wear these. They would get wet, repel water, and dry really quick. So yeah, that was my tights and my Marmot convertible pants. Next thing I had was a sock hat. Gotta have a sock hat. This is a knit sock hat that a friend of mine back home made for me. I absolutely love this thing. I kept this the entire time on the trail, wore it at camp at night if it was a little chillier, but I wore it a lot in the beginning just to keep my head warm. Now the one thing is it's knit, so it has holes in it. So typically if it was a colder day, I would just take my buff and wear it like a bandana, and then I would just put my sock hat right over it, so it was like an extra layer between that knit. The next thing that I had was a pair of Outdoor Research Windstopper gloves. So again, they're the Outdoor Research, and then there's the little Windstopper thing. These were super warm, not really crazy heavy, thick like snow gloves, not really thin. These were perfect. They squished down nice into my bag and kept my hands plenty warm. And the last thing that I carried, which you've probably seen the video on my channel. If you haven't watched it, check it out. I did a full review on these. These are my Goose Feet Gear down socks. So on those super chilly nights at camp, or in my sleeping bag when the sleeping bag just wasn't cutting it enough, I went to these guys. Nice little puffy down sock, 800 fill, super light, would keep my feet really good and warm. So yeah, that is the cold weather gear that I used on my hike of the AT this year. Hopefully that'll kind of give you some ideas on how to narrow your gear down and kind of know what you need depending on your start date. Like I said, I started in March. Our first night in the Smokies was the first week of April, and we had a 9-degree night. So this stuff was definitely helpful for keeping me warm and cozy and making sure I didn't get too cold. So leave me some comments below. Tell me what you think. Like or dislike my video. Subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching.